Hi, I'm Tricia, an organic gardener. I grow organically for a healthy and safe food supply, for a clean and sustainable environment, for an enjoyable and rewarding experience. Whether you've been an organic gardener for 5 days or 5 years, you know that good compost is the foundation to your soil health. But sometimes compost takes longer than your plants can wait. Today, we're going to show you how to make a fast pile. It'll be ready in a couple of months. If you're new to composting, I suggest that you also check out our Composting 101 video. To speed up the process and get the heat that you need, the pile needs to be the right size. A 3 cubic foot is perfect, and that's about the size of this bin. A chipper, machete, or pruners are some useful tools for chopping materials. Ideally, you want the pieces between 1 inch and 1/4 inch in size. Build the pile in a bin or on bare ground, but don't build it on asphalt or concrete because that can slow the process down. Start with 6 to 8 inches of a high carbon or brown material. Leaves and straw are great. After the high carbon layer, it's time to add about 2 to 3 inches of a high nitrogen layer or green material. If your nitrogen sources are old or a bit dry, you can add a high nitrogen source like this compost maker from E.B. Stone, and that'll speed up the process. The next layer is either going to be a finished compost or a compost starter, which is what I'm going to do. Use 1 ounce of compost inoculant to 1.5 cubic yards of raw materials. For my 3 by 3 foot pile, that translates to 2/3 of an ounce. I started the process yesterday by dissolving 2/3 of an ounce in tepid chlorine-free water. If you have chlorine in your water, let the water you intend to use stand for 24 hours before adding the inoculant. I made a paste with the compost starter and added it to the water in my sprayer, and I made enough to handle this whole compost pile. Water your compost in between the layers. You want it moist like a damp sponge. Continue building your pile with a half and half ratio of brown and green materials, spraying the inoculant and watering as you go. If you aren't using compost inoculant, add finished compost or garden soil instead. It's helpful to mix up your pile a little bit with a manure fork. Once your pile is 3 cubic feet, you want to cover it. My bin comes with a cover, but you can also use a compost cover material, or you can put an extra layer of carbon on top. I like this Compost cover because it sheds excessive rain and snow melt. It keeps the pile moist and allows oxygen through to the pile. When your compost pile heats up to about 140 degrees, or when it gets cooler, it's time to turn it. The pile should be turned every 5 to 7 days. Once this turning process no longer heats up your pile, it's ready to cure. Just let it set for about 4 weeks and then you'll be ready to add it to your garden. So, start a fast pile and grow organic for life.